Welcome to the AmRisc Podcast. Join us as we go beyond underwriting to discover more about our people, culture, and history. Welcome back, everyone. This is Michael Waters here with Connor Fleury. We're going to be interviewing Molly Nickoles and Lauren Cosnahan in the studio today for our episode 9. Which is going to be Excellence Part 2 over the Maverick Program. So guys, welcome to Houston. It's good to have you guys here. Do you want to tell me a little bit about yourselves?
Sure. My name is Lauren Cosnahan, and I'm an Underwriter II on the Eastern Seaboard Team, and I have been with AmRisc for 9 years now.
I'm Molly Nickoles. I'm the CEO of Waypoint Wholesale, and I've been with AmRisc for 19 years, almost 20 years. And I sit in the Birmingham, Alabama office, and glad to be here today.
Well, it's good to have you guys. So today we're going over the Maverick Program. Lauren, you know a lot about the Maverick Program. It's your
my idea, yeah.
It's your podcast.
Yeah. So we were actually on the Shark Tank with you, where we pitched our podcast. Mm-hmm. You pitched the Maverick Program. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the origin story of the Maverick Program and a little bit about the Shark Tank?
Sure. So the idea originated from a conversation that I had with my mentor, Angela Matthews, and we were just kind of talking, about all things AmRisc, and she made the statement that the best brokers have underwriter experience. And I was like, wow, that is so true. Why are we not offering some sort of program for our brokers, some kind of training program? And she said, Shark Tank. And I was like, oh no. And so I created an elevator pitch and submitted the idea, and I was selected as a finalist. And Molly was part of my innovation team and helped me build out my pitch, which I then pitched to the 6 sharks and got sponsored, and we put the program into life.
Lauren, she had a lot of energy for this idea, which was great. I mean, it was a wonderful idea. And it was something that we really saw that could be a service to our clients. But I just loved the energy that she brought to the table as well. So in the Shark Tank, we had John Allen and John Horton and myself that sponsored her idea. And as sponsors, we were just instrumental in trying to help her get the idea across the finish line. Certainly, the bones were already there, so we just kind of made sure that we were going to help her get it into action. And we encouraged her to set up a council, to put together a council to help her with kind of the structure and some of the tasks involved. And do you want to mention the council?
Sure, yeah. So we actually did some cross-branding with the council. We had some Kronos members, we had Waypoint, and we had ACIC as well. So it was myself, Sue Daigle, Maria Bernal, Aubrey Leach, Troy Calfee, and Jessica Smith.
Yeah. And they did a great job of just coming together and brainstorming and finding ways to make it exciting and the structure be there. But it came together really well. John Horton did a lot of work on the material for the educational piece. Mm-hmm. And we talked about what we thought might be fun for the brokers and creating an environment where they could learn, but they could also enjoy being there. And we kind of wanted it to be super special as well, like a
camaraderie building.
Yeah, to build those relationships.
Yeah,
but
the brand
also
loyalty.
Just, you're super special if you're here, is what we
Yeah, you were personally selected by your property leader to be here.
Yeah. So that was good.
So you were mentioning John Allen. He's on Kronos, which is our agent line. How it was originally pitched kind of as a Waypoint program, dealing just with brokers. How was it kind of shifted towards Kronos?
Originally, John Horton and John Allen and myself were the sponsors. And when we started talking about it, we really felt like it was going to be a good direction to start in the Waypoint side and then see, kind of how it worked, if it was successful, if there was things we can improve, and then they can copy paste on the Kernus side. They do something similar on the Kernus side already, and so the thought was to maybe improve upon what they were doing, but in line with kind of how we put together the Maverick program. But the test run was going to be on the Waypoint side, so that's where we put our focus. And we scheduled, we had the focus group. We talked about what we wanted to teach the brokers, like what we wanted them to get out of the program. And then we put it on the calendar. Katrina was great in helping us line up the marketing side and the logistics side of the event. And we scheduled it in correlation with the rodeo, which I think was really a good way to do it. The brokers that were selected and had the opportunity to be here also had the opportunity to go to the rodeo event. And many of them had never been to that event. We also had our top producer or our Top Gun producer dinner in conjunction with the rodeo. So we invited them to come to the dinner, and they were able to interact with some of our top producers in the market space. And I think they loved that as well. We got some feedback that they really enjoyed being able to meet some of those producers, across the wholesale channels, not necessarily producers within their company, but other companies, and just kind of getting to be in that environment and see what it's like to be rewarded to be a top producer. So that was nice.
Perfect. So the first event went great, I assume.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing. So much positive feedback. I had producers calling me who some of their teammates went, and they were like, I just wanted to call you and let you know that they are raving about this program, which is really exciting.
Yeah. I feel like there's kind of a disconnect between what we do and what brokers do. They don't realize how heavily involved in data it is, and kind of like the steps that we take when we're looking at accounts and underwriting the accounts, like what we need, what we're looking at, and getting the information from them. I think this was like a big help to that.
So I actually heard that one of the brokers changed their submission process. What other kind of feedback did you get out of that?
So some of the other feedback we got was that it was really helpful in just learning how understanding our modeling process and how it's not just a simple click of the button, and learning how we manipulate things to make the metrics work. What else?
Quite a few brokers loved that they were able to make new connections, and they had exposure to top producers as well as AmRisc management. But just getting a bird's eye view into how our underwriting process works, how AmRisc is organized and set up. And we also had some comments in favor of the information that we brought in regards to claims. So Carrie Edwards came and she spoke about our claims and how we handle that at AmRisc. And there was a lot of comments about that was super helpful to kind of get that information as well. The brokers went home and they were able to change some of their thought process about how to put together a better SOV. There was quite a few comments on being more attention to the detail that they put into the SOV, and that garbage in is garbage out. We got that quite often. So I do think that the individuals that were there really went away with something that they could use in their everyday work life.
Right. Better able to explain the why to their retail agents as well.
Yes, being able to communicate that all the way down to the retailer. And for us, they're going to be stronger partners for Waypoint as a result of being in this program, which is great. It wasn't, it was definitely a way to enjoy being together and to get exposure, but in the end, they're going to be better partners in the long run. So we had a small group starting out, and hopefully we will be able to grow that and include more rising stars, so to speak, in the years ahead.
Well, word on the street is that even some of the top producers are a little jealous
that they didn't get the invite.
How does a broker get qualified to be invited to the Maverick program?
So their property leaders actually nominate them.
Okay.
So we reach out to property leaders and ask for their rising stars.
Yeah. And hopefully, like I said, we'll be able to expand that and have some more spots to fill as we go through next year and the year after that. But we wanted it to be something special. And so we wanted their leaders to nominate them, someone that they saw that could be eventually a top producer for Waypoint.
And bring back a lot of value to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're just kind of building basics, I guess, for the brokers so they can kind of understand our underwriting process. Okay.
Definitely.
So, I guess what's the future of this program? Like, when's the next Maverick program going to launch? Is it going to be in person again? Is it going to just stay with the rodeo?
We definitely are going to do it again. It went really well, and we had a lot of positive feedback. And I think for us, it was helpful to be in conjunction with the rodeo. There were some positives there.
Yeah.
We were always looking for ways to improve upon any event that we have, as well as procedures and processes. So we'll take some of the feedback, and Lauren and the council will sit and kind of go through some things and maybe make some changes next year. But I think that the conjunction with the rodeo worked out well, so we'll probably do that again, which would be the spring. Any thoughts, Lauren, on changes?
I would like to split up the educational piece into 2 sessions, because that paired with the rodeo just makes for a really long day.
Yeah. I mean, broker time is valuable. Like, any time that they spend like with us, like, we want them to be getting value out of it, so they can have more time like with their agents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they soaked up the information. They really enjoyed learning about the model and even the nitty gritty. We tried to be a little bit high level, but they wanted more information. So we certainly could spend some more time on the educational side. We combined it with a fun activity as well. So the night before, we went and threw darts at a place downtown, and that was a lot of fun, just getting to know each other. And so we'll do that again as well. But
yeah. On the flip side, do you think there could be a program with the brokers where they're actually teaching underwriters kind of their process?
I mean, that's Shark Tank idea.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
Yeah,
I think it could be beneficial to do UA-TA swaps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To see their processes.
Yeah, I know there's like definitely, I think it would help, because sometimes I feel like the communication between, because it's over email. So we're not directly on the phone usually with the other TA. So I think that would be a good.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And I think one thing that some of these producers left with potentially that we wouldn't have thought of was empathy. Empathy for the workload and for the process. We heard a couple of them say, I had no idea the steps it took to get my submission to a quote to a binder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now I can be a little bit more thoughtful and patient in working with that underwriter. So that goes both ways. As UAs and underwriters, we get frustrated with the broker side of things too. So if we did some little seat swapping and kind of saw their process and procedures, we may have a little bit more empathy for what they do as well. So that's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, John took them down a really deep tour of the risk calc model. It was very deep.
He did, and they loved it. So
yeah, I was scrolling through that slideshow PowerPoint that Lauren sent me, and it's pretty far in depth for them to try to understand.
Yeah, I heard you came up with the PowerPoint, and I was like, I don't know. This is pretty. This sounds like John. At the end, I was like,
yeah, it was a lot of information, but they really did soak it all in, and I think they left with something that can improve their relationship with us as well as the work that they do. I mean, bottom line. So, and the brand building, just having that connection with Waypoint at an early stage in their career as a growing broker is huge. So that's going to benefit us in the long run.
Definitely.
So hopefully we'll continue to move, we'll do it next year and then the year after that and continue to grow and improve. And I love that it was a Shark Tank idea, just like this podcast was. So, we want all our employees to continue to be innovative and think of ideas, and no idea is too far outside the box. And, we have Innovation Day coming up in September. So that's a plug for everyone to just keep thinking about things, think about ways to improve or, different strategies. So
Well, it sounds like we might have come up with another idea.
Yeah.
That's my idea.
Yeah.
No, wait a second.
My Tai's got dibs.
I have it on.
Well, you wouldn't
On
have the
radio.
idea that if this recording didn't happen. So
I'll edit that part out.
Lauren are partnering up for next year's Shark Tank.
Yeah. So before we head out, I have two kind of fun questions for you guys. So first, Lauren, Mike Rich, Eric Johnston,
Oh, gosh.
how did you convince them on the Shark Tank to reenact the Top Gun volleyball scene?
well, I think I'm forever indebted to them, which really scares me a little bit. Basically, Molly just said, "Hey, can you help us sister out?" And they agreed.
They owe me some favors. We got a long history
It was like a
there.
solid 3 minutes. Like,
Well,
did you make them
okay,
record
so
for that long?
I asked them to do something different, and what I got was that beach volleyball scene reenactment.
Yeah. So for anybody who hasn't seen it, you can actually go to our AmRisc L&D YouTube channel, and we have the whole Shark Tank video. You can go, it's about like 23 minutes in, and it's a solid 3 minutes of two of our brokers
Playing in the
sand.
That really was classic.
Yeah,
And
it was.
It was a
It's
fun
also
spin
on
on
YouTube
things.
under like an account I have under the real Top Gun is what I've labeled it.
That's funny.
And then Molly, so you went to Ole Miss, right?
I did.
Somebody told me, I don't know the validity of this, but they said that you tutored Eli Manning?
I did. It's
Okay.
my claim to fame. I was a math major, and my senior year, I was a tutor for the football team, and he was a freshman. And he didn't need a lot of tutoring, but he was in the tutoring hall.
Gotta
and
give him some credit.
I had to, so that's my claim to fame, is that I tutored Eli Manning once.
That's
So-
pretty cool.
So he's kind of like a quiet guy. Is he smart or?
Yes, he was smart. I mean, they were required to be in there for X number of hours to do their homework and get help. And
like a study hall
so,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
and so I was just there and helped him with his college algebra work. He would not remember who I was, but...
You never know.
But, like I said, claim to fame right there.
All right. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank
It's
you for
good to have you
having
guys in
us.
Houston. It was good to have you guys on the podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep,
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
it.